always wanted to start a business. When you came out of that, I think you were just like, this is the one. You know, that kind of classic
What prompted me to start Smash Club is I just wanted to smash with my bros, smash my bros, get smashed by my bros, and there was no outlet for my creative smashing, so I had to make one my own. I started this club as a quest because I didn't really want to have people over to my house, so I wanted to play them elsewhere, and also I wanted to see how many good people were in this school, and it turned out it was none, so just me, I guess. No, Melee's the best. You never want to play Brawl. That's garbage.
Never use someone else's tag.
There's wave dashing, which is just like air dodging onto the ground. It lets you like move around better.
I never run in front of the screen of the TV.
There's like the Kin combo, and there's a Dark Rain combo.
It's all just a bunch of movement, really. And it's stuff that you just got to do really fast.
There's two people that are kind of like at the bottom right now. They just can't seem to beat anybody. It's Gunner and Mateo. They are practice as hard as they can. They like go home and train for hours. I kind of feel bad for them actually because they spent so much time on it and they're just so bad.
Prenton Schrader thinks he's the best. Meanwhile, Gunnar Smith thinks he's the best of all time. So, you know, I beat them both. Just gonna put that out there.
Who do you think's the best player in Super Smash?
I'm gonna say it's going to be a tie between me, Mateo, and Trenton.
I gotta say me, man. You always gotta put yourself before the other people, right?
What it really comes down to is I'm the best player, so of course it's me. It's open to really everybody that wants to play, but there's so much to learn. If you want to get good, there's an endless amount of techniques, and everybody's always finding new ways to play it.
It's hype, you know? People treat it like a sport when it's not a sport. But it gets hype. Anything can happen, man. It's anybody's game.
Super Smash was the first video game I ever owned. When I was like 6, I got a GameCube and I got Super Smash Bros. Melee, and I've played it ever since.
Well, I just kind of grew up loving Smash Bros. And playing the heck out of it, and so I'm just so passionate because it's been such a big part of my life ever since I was a kid. And to know that there are this many other nerds out there that love Smash Bros. As much as I do just touches my heart on a level so deep I don't think anybody will ever understand.
Super Smash Brothers
It all started with my sister mostly. She started swimming a year before I did, and I just watched like what she was doing, and I really wanted to like be with her too. So yeah, I love the whole atmosphere of swim. It's the girls on the team are all really nice and fun to be around, and like it's a place to go to like relieve all your stress mostly. Yeah. Last season, our team did really well. We placed 7th at state, and there was only 2 girls. It was me and Haley Brawl that placed in individual events, and our relays placed and all that. But overall we did pretty well all season, and I'm looking forward to this season a lot. The girls step up to the plate and try their hardest to make it to state. I would like to see more individual swims instead of just relays. And then like girls just like actually showing that they love to be around the pool and all that too. So.
What did you want to be when you grew up?
Well, when I was really little, I wanted to be a cam tester.
At first I wanted to be a doctor.
Rich, clearly, which is why I became a teacher.
So I wanted to just sleep all day in hammocks and make sure that they were up to quality and have that work out for you.
Well, so instead, I just had to get a sugar daddy.
Describe what makes you happy.
I like to play board games. The students make me happy.
Like talking over the break. Talk about
Yeah.
getting a hey, how are you from students.
I'm obsessed with Settlers of Catan.
A long ride on a Harley across the country in the bright sunshine.
Rain outside, a book, and hot tea.
Define the word student in your own words.
Are we going for like Urban Dictionary or Real Dictionary?
Someone who is willing to who likes to learn.
Crazy? Student is someone who is learning. So we're all students because we're all, keep learning.
What was your best teaching?
So many.
There's thousands. There's thousands.
When a student finally gets something and the light bulb goes off in their head and they start connecting.
Really get a cooking concept and they make something and it looks and tastes really good.
Writing wasn't his favorite thing to do, and we were working one-on-one with him. And then when we were all finished, he looked at me, he goes, that was fun.
If you had to make up a secret handshake, what would it look like?
Knuckles, and then what else?
I don't know.
You make a fist.
Go boom, boom, boom.
There we go.
That's so, thump, bump, dab. There we go. Boom. There we go.
Okay,
Okay.
I've done this since I was like a kid. Oh no.
Oh, I can't.
That's it. I thought there were going to be more thought.
Budget
like,
cuts.
That's okay, I'm not afraid to embarrass myself.
I think just let it do what it's supposed to do.
Yo, Father God, I'm clay in your hands. Help me to stay that way through all life's demands when they chip and they nag and they pull on me. At every little thing I make up my mind to be.
JT was first diagnosed when he was 13 months old with a brain tumor. He had surgery at that point, but they could only partially remove the tumor because of where it was located. He underwent chemotherapy. He had 3 different chemos for a total of 36 months of chemo. He was good for a few months, and then the tumor started growing again, so he actually went under, he had radiation therapy as well.
Please don't get her in there because it's breaking down.
But yeah, I think it is.
You see him struggling, and he still tries the best, and when you see when I'm struggling, then I see man, JD has more struggles than I am, and he's still this cheerful person and is always happy.
He's always really encouraging if you mess up, and he's always just like, oh, it's okay, you can do it. And he always just has a really positive attitude whenever he walks into the room, always willing to help.
He always tells me about how he's trying to inspire people every day through his raps, and I think that's great.
There you go.
All right, Diane, I'm gonna head out. All right.
JT, thanks so much for your help.
Yeah,
Have a great
sure.
weekend.
No
Bye-bye.
Is always kind, always worries about how us as a family, me as a mom, is doing. And knowing everything that he's gone through, it really puts life into perspective as far as what is important and what is not so important.
So I know there's people that have it harder, or there are some people that might even have it easier, like you, or or like, let's say, like your mom or dad or whatever. And I get this a lot where people come and ask me, well, when you look at someone, do you feel bad? And I would say, no, I don't feel bad at all, because I wouldn't be who I am if I didn't go through all that I've been through. Like, I'm gonna be a daddy who is in the mix, or I'm gonna be a husband who stays legit. And I pray that I'm an artist who rises above on the road that is wide and filled with self-love. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Hey. My matches. Caleb Masters. Hi.
Hi.
What's up?
Nothing much, you?
Cool.
Love at first sight?
What?
Love at first sight?
For sure.
Definitely.
Yeah. Yeah, we're dating now. Cool.
I assume I sit here.
I know whatever you're doing.
What is this?
So you guys just have a 1-minute date.
What is this? Does this start now?
Okay.
Okay. So, how was your day going?
Pretty bad, actually. Yeah.
Oh, it was awful.
Yeah.
What's up?
What's up?
Oh no. No! Am I gonna get like paired up with someone? What? Hello.
Okay.
We're matching!
Cool.
We've got a lot in common.
I've got
I don't really know what to say.
I came out to my mom one night just randomly. I was just kind of like, I kind of like girls too, and she was like, I knew. And it wasn't a big surprise for her, and thankfully my mom was really accepting.
Well, they needed a sponsor, and I believe very strongly in this issue. I have several family members who identify as being gay. I've also worked closely with the lesbian community in Lawrence when I worked at a shelter for women who were battered. And I just believe that this is a very important club at the school.
When I came out, it's something that explained that it's really important to understand that there's different variations of coming out. There's depending on who you're coming out to, so you could theoretically say that I'm coming out every day because depending on who I'm meeting. But I guess the big ones, basically like friends and family, I mostly did things through online, through emails, through text, because I'm more comfortable doing that than one-on-one conversations.
The Shawnee Mission Northwest environment is really accepting, and a lot of people who come out in the school and stuff actually end up usually being surprised by how accepting they are.
My brother dealt with bullying in high school, and so high school was a very miserable place for him because of the way he identified with himself. So it's a very important issue for me because of that.
I think that most people, if they're not living openly, I just want them to know that like that's okay. A lot of people feel pressured to come out of the closet even if they're not comfortable to do so.
L G
B
T Q plus club.
My name is Jason Wang, and I am an artist. The word ecstasy means overwhelming happiness, and that's what art brings me. I'm so happy when I'm doing art. I'm so, I don't know, like in a different level. I sculpt because, I don't know, I feel like it's awesome. I don't know, a bit addicting. I sculpt heads for right now. The heads are a reflection of my emotions. My first head was me screaming. My third one was me crying. Those were a lot more challenging, but the end result is much more rewarding. My process is, we first started with the skeleton. There's like a board, and you have a pipe literally drilled into the board. And you have a newspaper ball, which is supposed to represent your cranial cavity. You basically mold the clay around all that, and you make it thick, and then you start sculpting it. Right now I'm sculpting the form of his head, and after that I will add on the nose, ears, and eyes, and then add on the wrinkles and details to it. So when it dries, then you just cut around the head and then just really lobotomize it. My first piece took 5 weeks. My second piece took... My next head is head of my Kung Fu teacher, so that's gonna be a big challenge because, like, and he's not gonna be in front of me, so I'm gonna be relying off pictures. I have a high respect for him. I like to leave him with something, a present. Also, not just a goodbye present, it's also a thank you present for teaching me so much. I hope my art can inspire people, make people kinder, just make people think, really. I couldn't make those heads without taking chances, without being afraid. I'm not afraid to take chances, that's just what I'm trying to say. My name is Jason Wang, and I am an artist.
Ever since my dad was in his early 30s, he's always wanted to start a business. When he came out of that, I think he was just like, this is the one, you know, that classic cliche line, but I think that's kind of the way he felt with this.
I mean, I just love Tropical Smoothie because it's a great atmosphere.
They have great smoothies. A lot of people from Northwest work here.
Working with my friends was very appealing, and Scott and Missy are great people. They're our owners, and working for them just sounded ideal.
It's really healthy, and you feel really good after you leave. You don't feel like you just ate a bunch of junk for you.
I like working here because it's a very clean environment. It's always high energy, and the people are friendly.
There's tons of different options for both food and snack and smoothie.
I love working with the kids. I love seeing everybody come in here. Everybody's been so great and positive about spreading the word and walking around with their tropical smoothie cups at school.
It's just a great place. It has good food, good smoothies.
Oh. Alright, one sec. I gotta get you in frame. There we go.
I'm ready for my close-up.
A lot of people know Mr. Wilhite as that crazy teacher in room 201. But have you ever sat down to ask, what makes him such a positive, energetic human being?
I don't know. Just an outlook on life, maybe. And it's easy to get, depressed in this business because there's all these things going on and outside forces. I look out there and I see what other people are experiencing, and wow, I'm not there. And I could be working in a factory and be bored out of my mind, or I could be making a lot less money doing a lot harder work. 35 years ago I was pouring concrete on a construction crew, and that was a good experience because I saw how the other half lives. I don't need to live like that anymore. I don't have, infections under my fingernails from the concrete dust and the fly ash and all the things that go on with that kind of stuff. It could be a lot harder to make a living.
Although Mr. Wilhite is a high-spirited computer geek, he has a hobby a handful of people may not have noticed at first.
My evil cousins got me into motorcycles when I was 12 years old. My parents were very much against that. And then I never quite got out of that. And then as soon as I could afford my own motorcycle and I was old enough to buy one on my own, I did. And a funny thing happened. My father, who's long since passed away, he saw me having all this fun, and he wanted me to teach him how to ride. And that was a big mistake, because it's a mistake to try to teach your father how to do anything. He never did figure it out. He never did, and finally I gave up trying to teach him, and he decided he would try flying model airplanes or something, I think. But I never got out of it, and every summer I take off and I'll do 3,000, 5,000, 6,000 miles. And each year I pick a theme. Like one year it was ghost towns. I went out to the western states and spent 2 weeks bouncing around ghost towns in Nevada and Montana. One year the movie Cars came out, and I think it was like 8 or 9 years ago, and I went and saw all the car museums I could find in 3 weeks, anywhere in the country. And I mean, just stupid stuff it sounds like, but it's a blast to do that. And the people I meet and the things I see, Yosemite, the space deal down in Florida, I'm doing things that people only dream of.
Silence is the only thing louder than a bomb. Fish wish that they understood poetry.
Eyelashes would like to make wishes too.
The mountains feel awkward, like me, they're kind of just there.
Chairs express love only through one-night stands. Get it? Because they get so much out.
Sidewalks are afraid they're being followed.
But I write because I think there's a lot that goes to be said about the obvious things in life that most people kind of overlook.
Monsters are afraid of the children on top of their beds.
My heart is afraid that I will one day stop forcing it to beat. Engagement rings are afraid of commitment.
Lightning bugs are afraid of the dark.
Hate's afraid of butterflies.
Excuse me?
I'm just afraid of things that are truly beautiful.
It's one of those, I feel like poetry is one of those things where you feel like you're gonna puke right before you do it, and then you get up on stage and you do it and you get off and you're like, oh my god, this is the best ever, I can't believe I was ever nervous, and then like the cycle restarts.
Flesh will never forget the bruises that you etched into its skin.
The sun gets jealous of the moon, the way people stare unapologetically, but staring too long at the sun can cause you to go blind.
I know the purple made me look more like a galaxy.
Poetry to me can either mean an expression of your innermost feelings, or it can be an attempt to just
get other people to feel things for you. The scabs on my hands will never forget that my fingers have pried them open.
But Sesame's ashes want to be forgotten.
Will someone teach marriage how to keep a promise? Because marriage keeps forgetting.
And elephants just want to forget.
Poetry wants to know why we keep trying to slam it.
Skeletons want neither to be hidden nor exposed. I feel like Swiss Army knives are mainly just trying to impress their dad. Poetry for me is probably the realest me that there is, and I'm not really going based off of edits or what other people want me to say. It's what I want to say. Cancer thinks that it's just doing its job and that it's doing the best it can.
Love will never be known in such a pure form as that of an old, broken canine pressing his head against your arm to absorb as much love as you will give.
Poetry to me means basically anything that comes out of a person's mouth. Like, I'm one of those people who thinks that everything is poetry. Like, I'm one of those people who like throws an egg at a wall and I'm like, art!
Everything just feels too much.
We're sorry that we feel too much.
My mouth is sorry.
My eyes are sorry.
My lungs are sorry.
My hands are sorry. I'm sorry that I have to project my emotions onto inanimate things. It's just that I'm too embarrassed to simply say how I feel.
I'm sorry that I have to personify objects to get my point across. It's just that I've always been more object than person. I'm sorry that I overthink everything and never just let it be silent.
Silence just like to be heard for once.
Anybody want to tell a story?
I'm not part of this. They told me to do this.
You need this, right? I want to hold the camera. And then you're also going to need this. So we need you to go find an interesting story at lunch. Interesting story at lunch. That's the only rules we have for you.
Wait, review the instructions.
Okay.
No idea how to put a camera on a tripod.
This, the tripod and the camera.
It's kind of, you know this heavy, right?
Yeah.
Wait, what is going on here?
Okay, sweet.
Can I just like screw this on here?
We're trying to get you to do free work.
Hey, how do you press start on this thing?
Wait, what do I have to do?
How do I turn this on? Press the red button?
I need you to go find an interview, find a story out here at lunch.
Recording.
Am I recording?
Where's the camera back?
Is that funny?
Is my recording now?
Alright.
Okay, we're going. Okay, so please just tell us your story. Okay, so.
Is it recording? Eric, if it's recording, what do you like about lunch?
What do I like about lunch? What do you like about lunch, Eric?
I was brushed.
Would you eat an entire deer antler if it was offered to you?
No, because that'd be really gross and probably not very hygienic or healthy.
Is my hair good? Wait.
Hi, Porter. How are you guys?
Do you like surprise tasks of recording videos?
Yeah.
All right.
Scale of 1 to 5,000, how insane am I?
5,001.
Am I easy to talk to?
You were extremely hard. I was very intimidated. I was like, if I answer this question wrong, she is gonna punch me in the face. What's up, Adam?
Well, what do you and your friends talk about? Not much. Oh. That's really interesting. This interview is coming to an end right now. That was a good one.
What's up, ladies?
Oh my god.
No, you guys are eating.
Don't do this.